Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are here for the Straightjacket podcast 328. Big up to everyone who's locked in right now. You know what I mean? There's over nearly 500 already in the building. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Big up to everyone who got me to 150k. You know what I mean? It's a big milestone. And yeah, big up to the community. Big up to everyone who's been part of the channel over the years and whatnot. We will be live tonight to have a little party and that tonight. So make sure you're there. Should be after Big Six, so we'll do that. But Minna, how are you? You know what I mean? I hope LA Lakers are going to bring some success in NBA because wallahi, Man United, it's not good.
I feel sorry for you, man. SDS is losing. United are losing. You're in the mud.
I know. Speaking at the minute.
It's peak, but I'm good, alhamdulillah, man. I can't complain. You know, you can't like Nuruddin says, you can't cry about football, man. There's more to life than that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Nuruddin, man, it's the sunshine's gone, man. I don't know what's going on, man. We've gone from like 20 degrees in Manchester now to a little 12 degrees.
Yo, it's cold outside. It
cold. It is. I always just think of Nuruddin because he was tan the other day. Now he's gone back to pale Nuruddin. How are you, Nuruddin? Everything all good?
Yeah, we're good. Big up, Mina. Hope you're well, Queen. Love what you're doing. All of the stuff. Yeah, big win for United yesterday. Going to the dirty Blues and stuffing them 2-0. Third.
Oh man, three finals in a row.
Big up
consecutive final in 3 years. FA Cup. Yeah, big up to the manager, man. Showing them how it's done.
No, we don't do
F that, man. It's the players.
Why? Skinner, man. Come on, man. How can we not give Skinner credit, but then everyone else gets credit? Come on, man.
I give the players credit. That's it. I don't give anyone else
the players.
Yeah,
everybody knows the players.
You're not toxic.
No, we're not. The players.
No, I agree.
Credit,
Skinner out. Always.
Yeah, they give him another contract. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, no, 2027. Yeah.
Other than that, I'm good. Man. When the weather drops like this, I don't like it, but we have to.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Other than that, Clive, you know what? Other than Manchester United, everything else in my life, I try to look at it in a positive light. So it's glass half full. I'm grateful of the 2 weeks of sunshine that I had, and I'm grateful for that. It was going to come to an end.
Yeah, it was going to come to an end.
Just like the weather, innit? Just like the weather, like Man United. I told you, innit? The weather and Man United are a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Big up, man. For those asking about Musa will be here, man. He is on trial. He's going to be in court, man.
Gulag. He's in the gulag.
He's in the gulag, man. He was moving mad last week saying give Amorim time and all of that. He's in the chat right now. I'm gonna bring him in. Before we do that, you know what? Shout out to Omar N who donated a lot, man. So you get me. Big up to Omar N, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate you helping the channel. He says, I'll start from where he started off first, actually. He says it's delusional to think that any manager after 10 hours would be successful. United can't score whether it's 4-3-3, 3-4-3, or 4-4-2. We can't score. It's been years since we've been able to score. Not even Pep can fix with this squad. He then says, this is supporters to my Muslim United fans and to say, relax. Amorim rotating players. Our midfield was never going to muscle Newcastle. They're just a bad match for us. To beat Amorim without knowing the context of this is delusional. Last point, look at the state of this club right now before INEOS, the Anthony window, Arnold and Myrtle. Their negotiation was simply given into an age of demand. It was a giant mess. But clean such a mess, you will have to get dirty as well. Relax. So Omar N, shout out to you, bro. For the donation.
I agree with him. There is not a word that I disagree with him. Everything that he said. Brilliant analysis. And big up for the super chats for the channel.
Yeah, big up, bro. Appreciate it, man. Where do we start, man? I don't know, man. It's one of them where I don't know if you see
let's start with Musa because guys, every time Anthony passes a ball to his teammate. This guy messages me. This guy will message me. So I need him to speak about Onana. I need Musa to come here. Someone in the chat just said you're on the phone to Onana. What did he just tell you?
Onana said to me, how's Bayindi doing? Onana said he wants to know how was the vice teacher doing? Was it again? He wants to know how the teacher that stood in done for him.
Bro, listen to me. The guy came with his agent today. Did you see him? Man came with his agent into character, you know.
Who does
I think he is, man? Onana. He came with his agent today into United, man. Going, so he's holding in a crisis meeting. Say, yo, I want my position back. You know what I'm saying?
Do that. Did you guys see what BN did done yesterday? Oh
hey?
my!
No, I didn't want BN. I want Tom Heaton, man.
Tom Heaton's just as bad. Saeed's taking a mick. Tom Heaton,
bro, is better than them two, bro. You know what I mean? Onana ain't good enough. Bayendit ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying to you? But what I don't get, Musa, is your persistence here with that brother. Yeah, it's not normal, bro. I'm telling you now.
What it is for me? My thing is this: you can't have your cake and eat it. I wanted to keep De Gea. Everyone went against me. We said we're gonna get Onana in the goalkeeper position. I keep on saying it. Onana, Bayindi, all of these goalkeepers are as good as flipping my man at Chelsea. What's his name?
Sanchez.
They're as good as Sanchez. They're as good as flipping the keeper at flipping Everton. My Pickford, he's an idiot and he's England #1.
They don't make them make mistakes. Though. They don't make
mistakes. Pickford makes a lot of mistakes.
Not them catastrophic mistakes that we see right now. No way.
You know what they're saying? I just feel like when you're the goalkeeper at Man United, and before we got Bruno Fernandes in, our player of the season, and I'd say Pogba, but he came in a bit earlier. David De Gea was player of the season for a reason. The type of shots you have to hold, the type of defense you have in front of you when you're a Man United goalkeeper, I don't think it's for the. I don't think if you ain't got thick skin, don't come and be a goalkeeper at Man United, because it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And I just think the type of mentality that Onana needs, with how bad things are at United, is what we need from a goalkeeper. Because I don't think any goalkeeper is going to come and get protected from this back four or get protected from this system. I think from day one, like you saw Bayindi's first game in, there was no protection. Not even, bro, this is my man's first game, man, them. Let's make sure we're on point. It was none of that. From the minute off, they were putting him in positions that sometimes he didn't need to be in. And I just feel like you need a goalkeeper that's going to have the mentality for no matter how bad it gets, he's going to say, you know what, I believe in myself and that can happen. Do we get rid of Onana later on down the line? Yeah, we do. But when I'm hearing the fan base saying we can't have a top 4 title race, or no, we can't have a top 4 race.
Top 4 anyway, regardless, anyway. We're not getting top 4.
Forget that. But when I hear the fan base saying the reason we can't get top 4, the reason we can't do this is because of the goalkeeper, that's just an excuse.
It's not just down to the goalkeeper. It's the whole collective. United ain't getting top 4 next season, regardless of if you've got Onana in goal or not. Like, it's more than just Onana. But he is still a big problem.
He's a problem. But if I've got 6 signings this summer transfer window, the goalkeeper might be the 6th signing. And even then, I might not waste it on a goalkeeper. Like, I think it's so bad on the field, I don't think I would waste one of my positions for those 6 on a goalkeeper. Because it's bad. Like, you see this wing back thing, I don't think people get it. We can't be in a position.
I get it now.
Yeah, I don't think we can be in a position where one of them get injured and then we go back to this type of wing back that we're having. We need to buy 2 wing backs in both positions.
I'm with you. I'm not saying I've seen the light with Dogu, but I think I've definitely seen that he's a better backup than he is a first choice. I think it's too soon to put that sort of pressure on Dogu. I really do, man. I think he's still understanding the league, but for me, Dallow's not good enough as a right wing back, and Dogu, for me, I think there's a lot of his game that he needs to still develop. You know, he wasn't really my first choice, to be honest with you. My first choice was Kirkers at Bournemouth. We have brought him in. I do think everyone needs to relax on whether they think he's not good enough or not. I think there is a player there. He just needs maybe a bit of time to adjust to the league and not have that pressure of being the #1 left wing back for Man United, bro, at 20 years old, you know? So we just got to just be relaxed and temper expectations for me on Dogu. That's what I would say. Like, I don't think it's a case of he's not good enough. There are qualities in his game that I think can be useful in this league. You know, the fact that he's an athlete. He goes up and down that left wing back role. You know, he's a good ball carrier. You know what I'm saying? And he can have some sort of influence. But for me to be putting our full trust in him, I think there's so much in his game that I'm like, let's relax on him, man. You know, so even when he came on yesterday, he was so erratic, bro. It's like he's playing in You know, he used to play in primary school or in high school in a cage. He's playing like he's in a cage, bro. Relax, man. You don't have to run for every ball and like fight people for every ball.
He's 20
you know what I mean,
old,
bro? Like, I don't know, man. He needs to just chill a little bit. But like I said, I'm not gonna.
20 years old. He's 20 years old. He's come to a new country, new league, and yeah, we're just glad that to have a left-sided guy. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Amas looked Amas on the ball looked totally better than him.
Yeah, on the ball,
on the ball, more technical.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, I don't know if you've seen it, man. But the manager has been going mad at the players and has called an emergency meeting.
Who's saying that? Somebody's IDKs.
You know what? There's a guy that I know. Yeah, he's got
I vouch for that guy. He's pretty reliable. Yeah.
Very reliable, this guy, man. Big up to Sully, man. He's doing his thing right now, and he's told me a few other bits and bobs, but I'm gonna let him break it first, and then obviously. But Amorim apparently has called a meeting. He called off another meeting as well that was meant to be happening, but he's not happy, man.
No, he didn't call off another meeting. Say what it was.
He called off
a meet and greet for kids.
Yeah. But I don't want
to attend.
Come on, man. Why are you giving bad rep for the manager, man? Let's not do that, man. But he basically emergency first team meeting. He's moving like League Gunner at the minute. He said players looking. Listen, no one dared to speak. Message was clear. Have until the end of the season to fix up, or you're out.
Let me say something to that.
I think he's losing it a little bit.
Break that. Listen, breaking news. Amorim didn't cancel it. The kids just didn't turn up. Let's get that facts right. Yeah, let's get the facts
they got scared. They got scared by.
They got better things to do in their half term.
Let's get the facts right. Kids didn't turn up. They didn't want us scared. The kids were like 4-1 to Newcastle. And I'm supposed to meet and greet these muppets. See you later.
Facts.
Kids said, "Nah, not today, mate. Not today.
Yeah.
We'd rather go to the park."
But I'm not gonna lie to you. Did you? We were watching the interview. Nuruddin. He looked like a guy that was feeling the pressure, you know. And
he wasn't. We watched it.
If he doesn't win the Europa League, he has to get sacked. That's the bottom line. So he's under pressure.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He has to get sacked. I told you, if Amorim don't win Europa League, he has to get sacked. And the reason I'm telling you he has to get sacked, because I'm saying this.
Trophy, though. That's the problem, though.
No, but the reason I'm saying he has to get sacked is because he brought himself into a position where he's basically the interim manager. He got a 2-year contract, and he's come in after the season started. What's the difference between Amorim and an interim manager that comes in until the rest of the season?
One does have a contract, one does.
Yeah, but it's a 2-year contract, Saeed.
It's 2.5. It's still a contract, though.
Yeah, but it's not a big deal.
What's Nuruddin doing there?
It's just a big. Nuruddin wants to throw the slipper like.
He's saying you're a flip-flop.
He's saying that you're flip-flopping, man.
No, he has to get sacked. I'm not flip. You know why I'm saying he has to get sacked? Because my thing is this. As far as I'm concerned, he's an interim manager side. When an interim manager comes in at a good enough caliber, if he does well, he might have the opportunity to keep the job. If an interim manager came in, anyone, let's just say like what the England manager now, what's his name again? I forget his name.
Tuchel.
If Tuchel came in as an interim to see the job through for Man United, he just agreed to come in, and Tuchel done well, people would make an argument that he should keep the job. But if Tuchel done this and had come in as interim, there will be no Man United fans saying he should keep the job.
No, I would have.
I asked, Amorim's come in basically as an interim because he's only got a 2-year deal, and they can get rid of him at the end of the season. It'll only be like a year they're paying off, or a year and a half. My thing is this: what has he done, and what has he shown you now that if we give him 200 million, you guys are going to be happy?
About every manager that was
no, Saeed, because there's a manager that would have came in, and you might have said, it's just flipping good vibes. He's done well as an interim, but does that mean he's a good manager? There are managers that come in and actually do well. What we're saying is that Amorim has done worse than he has perceived it to be. Like Amorim didn't think it would be this bad. Nobody at United thought it would be this bad.
I think he knew it'd be this bad. Not to this level where you're like 4 points off of 17th, but after his best result, realistically, Everton 4-0, that's been his best result. Yeah, that was like his third game when he took over. After that game, he said, "Guys, you're gonna have to suffer." And I think, me personally, it's just a prediction that I'm making, but I think he knew the caliber of players that he had, and he knows his stubbornness of not changing what he's come in to do. He's come in to play a back three. He knows the players maybe don't have the quality. Like if players were not making a lot of individual errors, I would be onto Amorim. I'm not gonna lie, I would be onto him. But the facts are there. 6 in 21. Just for some context, I think Wolves have won 6 in 9 since February.
Yeah,
so since February, they've won 6 in 9,
yes.
And United since November have won 6 in the league. The facts are very damning, but equally with saying that, I think what restricts Amorim is because he has such a rigid system that requires specific type of players that, let's be honest, United have not had physical players, bro. Let's be honest. They haven't had physical players. They haven't had players that are technical on the ball. They haven't had players that can play with strength. We got a midfielder that cannot pass the ball. Like, let's be totally honest. So I will give Amorim grace. I'll give Amorim grace with that. But
what Amorim is telling us, and what Amorim is setting us up for, is that if he doesn't have his players, we should accept this type of level of performance.
Don't you think that puts pressure on the management and the board, etc.?
No, but the sad thing is, we just had a manager in Eric Ten Hag who said, "I need these type of players to play football." Then we get rid of him, and we got a new manager saying, "I need these type of players to play football." And the problem is, it's about time Man United start scouting for Manchester United. And if the manager cannot deal with the type of players that we're bringing in, we bring in the next manager who can. We need to all agree conclusively that the players we're getting are actually good players. Like, forget what happened before, but like Saeed says, the window we just had, he calls it a good window. So on that basis, on that basis, how many managers should be able to walk through the door and be like, you know what? De Ligt's not a bad player. Mazraoui's not a bad player. You know, like, how many managers should be able to walk through the door and actually just be able to deal with what they've got in since the last window? And if we move forward in the same way and we go and get another 5 players in, similar to what we had last week, the managers should be able to deliver with those type of players. If you can't deliver with De Ligt, Mazraoui, who else did we bring in? Zertsky, Ugarte. Who else?
And
Euro.
Euro.
Yeah, so if we bring in a similar type of player again, another 5, and you turn up here as the Manchester United manager and say, I can't get anything out of this type of player, then you're not fit for the job.
So you're saying now, if we get next group of 5 players, and he still isn't able to work with that's where you think there's a red flags, or are you saying the ones that he's got right now? But I look at the ones he's got right now.
Those 5 that he's got, I think the 5 that we got in and the ones that he's got right now, we all agree he should not be this amount of points off the bottom 3.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's just an insight. We've been lucky enough to be given an insight to Amorim when the chips are down. And the question we need to ask ourselves as a fan base, where we've been given an insight to this manager when he doesn't have his players and the chips are down, and do we like what we've seen? Because there's been a lot of managers who don't have their players in straight away and the chips are down and they deliver. Like, I don't think going into the Everton job as David Moyes was an easy job. I don't think that was easy. Because Everton could have got relegated. And I think they've had more wins than us this season now.
Yep.
How?
I think, well, listen, for me, you know what it is, guys, I'll be honest with you, like, I think it's a mixture of tactical and quality issue, but you've also got to put into place, like, how many players do we really rate, guys? Let's be honest, man. Like, when you look at the attack, right, is there more you can get out of this attack? Is there more you could do with the midfielders that we've got?
The best way to look at it, Saeed, is if you look at United's starting 11 on the weekend, or the best starting 11 that we've had under Amorim, how many of those players start across the Premier League, across other teams?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is the best way to answer it.
I think a lot of them, if we look at when he first came in and he was doing Mr. Tinkerman, changing it every game, we had Mazraoui, he starts. We had De Ligt, he starts. We had, who else did we have available? We had Martinez, he starts. Who else? Then we go into midfield. We had Ugarte. He starts. Who else?
Who does Ugarte start for?
But we're talking about. Remember, we're low pickings now. If who's the top 10?
Top 10 right now
Arsenal,
is
Liverpool,
you don't start for
Chelsea, Villa, Newcastle, Forest.
He starts for Villa. This guy Tillemans, yeah.
What?
Tillemans, Saeed, you was ripping. Listen, Saeed, you was ripping Tillemans a new one before.
Stop misquoting me, man. What?
No, Saeed.
You know what, Musa? I believe you. I believe Sid.
Hold on a minute. I said there was doubts for me whether he could play in a midfield too, because I looked at his mobility. I remember at Leicester, let's not lie, the mobility of Tillemans was worrying towards the end of
this.
That's
what I'm saying, Saeed. I'm not going against that. No, I agree with you. But what I'm saying to you,
what we've seen in a midfield three, Unai Emery has basically not only revived his career but actually enhanced his foot. Like he has.
So that's an Amorim problem. That's not. So that's an Amorim problem. This is what I'm saying.
It's also about the players that you got around you. I don't think Ugarte would work in an Aston Villa team when you've got Kamara next to him. I don't think that would work.
Ugarte, listen, I think that's an Amorim problem, because I think every single one of our midfielders will look different in the midfield three. I think they will look all different. I think Ugarte, Mainu, all of them will look different.
But don't you feel like sometimes we're playing with a midfield three? Because Bruno, when he's playing in the 10, he drops in a lot. So it's like Europa League, when it was Casemiro and Ugarte playing together, Bruno was playing deep to a point where it looked like it was a midfield three.
It does. But then I think that because he's dropping and we're not starting like that, it's the wrong midfield three. I think if Amorim wanted to pick a solid midfield three from what we had, we'll be playing better, and the midfield will be different. When I look at Tillemans, Saeed, he doesn't do anything that Kobe Mainoo can't do. He's not more athletic than Kobe. He doesn't do anything. He's a better
player than Kobe, though.
He's not a better player. That's my fault. He's not.
He's more experienced. That's it. But I agree with you.
He's not a better player than Kobe. This is what I'm saying. If Kobe was at flipping Villa,
at this level,
Saeed, when we saw him at Leicester, if Kobe was at Villa in a midfield three, we would be seeing him doing levels over there.
I think we need to relax. I think
Nuruddin has had his hand up for the last 10 minutes.
I don't get it. Like we're going on like we're better. Like these guys, you know, Kamari is one of the best midfielders in the league. Do you not know that, guys? One of the best midfielders in the league. Free transfer. These guys they put him in a system, right? What I blame from Amorim is that he don't get his players and put them in the best environment. I blame Amorim for that. You know, I look at him and I'm like, how do you get the best out of Ugarte? Oh, go play next to Casemiro. No, that don't work.
So who do you put Ugarte next to?
I think for me, you've got to have a ball-playing midfielder alongside him. Or someone like Bruno. Bruno should be there. He don't put Bruno there.
And then let me ask you a question. So then when Ugarte is left to cover all the ground in the midfield, because physically Bruno is not really made for the midfield battles. So then when Ugarte is getting outnumbered in the midfield, because a lot of the time United are caught in 2v1s or 3v2s, then what? What's then for Ugarte?
But again, that's a system issue. That's
and one of the centre
Please, not a system issue. Can I just say quickly?
One of the centre-up steps in.
One of the centre-up steps in. So you can't play Maguire. That's it.
That's the thing. Right. So for me, the problem with Ugarte, for example, in the system is that you have to have Ugarte is that final piece in your midfield. When you've got your back line secure, you've got your midfield secure. When you just need someone to cover every blade of grass and to just basically fly into tackles and be a physical dual monster, that's what Ugarte is for. Put things together. He does he should do the dirty work. Because when you got Leacher, for example, playing out from the back, if we had Lenny Yoro on the right side playing out from the back, if you had a centre half behind him that's able to play further up, Ugarte wouldn't be that far back. He wouldn't be that far back because the whole team is shifting forward. But I don't think I'm experienced enough. I don't have the experience that Musa says that we have to have.
No, but haven't you clocked when De Ligt is playing, Ugarte looks better because he does that.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? De Ligt steps in a little bit. Yeah, he does. And listen, I'm just saying though, like every other team, you got to look at the environment they're in right now. I do believe, for me, we bought Ugarte without buying the piece next to him, like a Sander Berge, which we were talking about this season, buying a player. We bought a player and we thought, let's go put him in there, and then we expect him to be this 100, this brilliant footballer. He's not that. Like, you've got to put people around him to help him out, and we haven't done that. Before you come in, Nuruddin, just going to get these 2 super chats in. Big up to Killy says, congrats 50k, back to life, back to humanity. Women's coaching, women's team showing the men how it's done. Onana has main character syndrome, worrying. And big up Omar says he started Lindelof Eriksson, a backup goalkeeper and a youth player, left wing back. They were going to lose. He's gotten a lot of Xerxes, Ahmad, who Eriksson had bench. Musa, he's gotten decent results against Liverpool, Arsenal, etc. But yeah, go ahead, Musa. Go ahead, Nuruddin. Smash your likes, people, as well, man. There's 1.4K in here.
Big up to everybody. Please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me. I beg
I
you.
won't.
Musa, flip flop of the week. Well done. Flip flop. The Havanas are out. The Havanas are out. If you know, you know. Somebody's cheeky on the comment said, size 20. Hey, calm down, pal.
Not far off.
Calm down. Let me say something to people. I pay attention to what goes on at Liverpool, maybe to my own detriment more than most. You've got a club in chaos, and then they hire a 40-year-old from a Portuguese league that never played in the Premier League, has a coaching staff that some of them are younger than some of the players that we have. Now, some of them are old, like the goalkeeping coach, but there are some who are younger than the players that we have. So at the end of the day, for me, Ruben Amorim was a type of guy. If you're going to get him in January, you were going to have to do a Man City. You were going to have to spend 150 million to get him at least 3-4 players. You were going to have to do that. None of this but January transfer window. Nobody spends money in the January transfer window. The January transfer window is very difficult. Mess me out with that shit. If you wanted this guy and you got him because you said no later, you said now. You said now. He said to you, wait till the end of the season. The only thing Musa's qualified to talk about is that Musa did say, give it to Rude till the end of the season and let's regroup till next season.
And he's wrong.
Let me finish. Though you said you're not going to interrupt. You're not going to interrupt. Okay. So I give Musa credit for that. Musa was qualified to say that. And that now, looking back on it now, does sound because those players worked with Erik ten Hag way of playing football. They worked with the way Rude and that were coaching and the way they were playing. That being said, Ruben Amorim is a specific type of player, specific type of coach. Erik ten Hag was a specific type of coach who demanded a lot of players. Then they go and double down and get a guy who's going to have a more specific type of players that he needs for his system to function. But that's just Manchester United. I do not blame Ruben Amorim one little iota. I blame the people who bought him. But majority of the people in the fan base, hold tight the sheep. The other lot, which is almost half of the fan base, are bootlickers. Now keep looking, be little good boys and girls and keep licking Jim Glazer's boots. Because for me, I do not blame Amorim and his coaching team. I blame INEOS. The indecision, the incompetence, the how much money they cost. Glazers were one of the most incompetent owners in the history. And we got a now 28% guy who's even more incompetent than them. And I'm seeing things on Twitter today. Mercedes mechanic. What are we? We've got a cycling guy. We're getting a Mercedes mechanic expert.
What?
You know how the news?
No, I just seen that Claude Blanc is stepping down for some.
No, apparently stepping down to advise the club. He's not stepping away from it to advise the club.
Yeah. It's a new
that's
role.
What they're saying. A mechanic from Mercedes might be coming in. He can adapt his things into Manchester United. So anyway, at the end of the day, people, this is what Amorim and the players are this, yeah? And everybody's like, but nobody is waking up to the fact that what's going on in this football club. Now, half of the staff of the club are gone. The other part of the staff who are still there, by the way, some of them are getting sacked in the next couple of weeks by the end of this month. I think it's still a financial year, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, April, isn't it?
Yeah, new financial year now.
Yeah. So after that, they're getting sacked. Some of them are getting sacked. A couple of 100 people are getting sacked. You've got a toxic work environment where majority of the people behind who are working for the football club are feared for their jobs. They only can eat soup and sandwiches when execs are ordering salmon and steaks. So this is where we're at, people. Nobody's going to tell you this. I run a channel called the Therapy Channel, and we unpack everything that's going on. Now, has Amorim made vital mistakes? Yes. Has he come out for INEOS and put it on his chest and said, yeah, I've allowed them both to leave. Yeah, I've done it. And is he paying for that? Yes. Did he demand players? No. And then when it was too late, he put Kobe Mainu as a striker and dropped both Xerxes and Hoyland on the bench. Try to tell the fans and the board, send them a message to say, I need a striker. Did they listen? No, they didn't. So, do you have a right to criticize Amorim? Yes. Do you have a right to criticize any of these players? Yes. Is the blame for where we are at Manchester United just these players and Amorim? No. And if you're contextualizing things that way, then I feel sorry for you because you've learned nothing. There is no savior going to save us. No other fan base in world football loves a savior and loves a scapegoat than Manchester United fans. So, I believe it's going to get worse before it gets any better. So, strap in, get comfortable in your seats, get your tweets out, get the flip-flops on. 1 week is this way, 1 week is that way.
Wilson's chilling, man. He's chilling, Wilson, man. He ain't.
What you have to do. But at the end of the day, one thing you cannot do, we've changed coaches. We've changed players.
I think he needs a summer window, man. The thing is, right, Wilson, Nurdin, the problem is, Nurdin, yeah? A lot of people said to me, right, why should they give this manager 200 to 300 million when he isn't even showing signs that right now he can coach these guys to a certain level? Because maybe you're not going to get all your targets in the summer. Maybe you're not going to get what you want in the summer. And you might have to coach like some managers do.
It is five at the back stuff. I'm finished with the five at the back.
Saeed, I told you.
That's who he is, though.
Majority of games when we start, we play with too many defensive players. We have like 7 players who are defensive positions. For me, the 3 centre halves are not the centre halves that are there who can thrive in his system. In his system, the 3 centre backs, and Nina pointed it out before, you need the clockwork guys who work to a rhythm. You need fast, really good on the wide areas. You need guys who can recover down the middle, and you can also need guys who can step into the midfield and actually support the holding guy or when the ball is in there, that can go in there, that can play to a rhythm. We don't have that. At the end of the day, they did not have a preseason, but I put it out there, and people are coming out saying, you're putting the manager on trouble. No, I'm just stating the facts. This season has been a free hit. He's come out and said himself, he said, they told me to start now. They want to change the way they want to play. They told me to start now, and the club have told me that. So the club are giving him a free hit. Then you had Jim Glazer doing an interview with Gary Neville talking about he hasn't got the players like wages, talking absolute rubbish. But anyway, he has made mistakes. Coaches who come from obscure leagues like the Portuguese league are going to make mistakes. They will. But what you usually have with big football clubs, can you cover up the mistakes and can you help them? Can you aid them? Can you help them in every way that you can? Can you support them? No. Manchester United bring you here, let you. And yesterday was the first time, Saeed, me and Saeed, after the game, we watched a little bit of when he came out to speak to the...
He didn't look rattled. He looked rattled.
He looked rattled. He was looking down. He's usually relaxed, like a poet, giving me big words, like he's some poet. He was like, I don't care what people are going to say. I don't care. I don't care what people are going to think. We don't care. It's all about Thursday. It's all about Thursday. I'm like, what happened to the poet, man? Because
poets run out of words, man.
You know when it gets sticky.
The Europa League saved
when it gets sticky, when it gets really sticky, when you run out of gravy and you're eating dried out chips, you know what happens? You got that. You know what you got? You got that sour taste, horrible taste in your mouth, dryness.
Listen,
and he
this
just go and run into the kitchen
competition,
to get more water. That's what he looked like. So anyway, I'll say this. If you United fans have not learned nothing about what's going on in this football club, and you're waiting for, like Musa said, because Musa is a professor of that way of thinking. Some mystical coach, mystical manager who's gonna come, right? Who's going to come and gonna fix it all, and it's gonna be all dandy, and it's gonna be all wonderful and flowers, and Musa is gonna munch on his sweets, yeah? Musa, the sweets are not good for you. I don't know how old you are, brother, but
listen, it's Eid, mate. Eid Mubarak.
Bro, Eid was like 2 weeks ago.
No, save it for the kids, man. Save it for the kids.
Extended Eid, you know. Man said
I've had these for 2 weeks. I've had these for 2 weeks. I haven't ate them.
Professor Musa, he's got a lot of disciples out there who think we're gonna get a mystical unicorn of a coach who's gonna
get me Xavi, one of the best midfielders the world has ever seen. Bring me Xavi.
Can I just talk about the midfield? Can I just say my last thing on the midfield? The last midfield we had that was anything was Hargreaves, Carrick, and Scholes. Since then, Manchester United have had an absolute issue in that.
Matic, Herrera, and
you know, even Fergie, Saeed, in 2011, I was coming back from 8-2. 8-2.
Yeah.
Was it 8-2? Was it 2011? 8-2 Arsenal, we smashed them. I was walking back from the stadium and I wrote on Facebook, please get me Risana Diarra. Please get me Schneider. Like, I was writing that as a Facebook status, walking out of that stadium. And that's the day we smashed 8-2. We smashed 8-2. 8-2 that day. Right? So, at the end of the day, the club are not about winning. They're about selling shirts and about getting you to think we're still a big club. You saw the tweet yesterday. You saw their tweet yesterday after the game.
It's a joke. They're actually a joke, man.
This is who you are supporting. The football club that used to win things, that used to have a name, come back it up. That football team's gone. A decade ago. 13 years ago that was.
Let me ask you a question, Bina, yeah? Like, do you think they're thinking about this Europa League as almost like this is the sole purpose of the season?
I don't care about the Europa League, bro. Like, I don't know how people want to be in Champions. Are you lot not scared? We're gonna get humiliated in Champions, bro. We're gonna go to Club Bruges next season.
Mina, I said that. Mina,
and we're gonna get slapped up.
I told him. Saeed, tell him what I told you.
Why are we gonna get slapped up if your manager's got his signings and you believe in him?
Because I don't believe that they are going to back him in the summer transfer window. Do you know why? I'll tell you why.
We don't believe they're going to back him.
I'll tell you why. And you know what, Musa? We could go weeks back. I said Ruben Amorim, I think he will walk because he realized how effed up the situation is. Yeah. The INEOS strategy, is buy them young. Be realistic. Realistic. Why is it everyone that we're linked to? It has to be of a certain age bracket. It has to be of a certain
for babies to come. Go ahead, me.
There's an interesting Konya. He's not crush.
No, but
that's for the fans. Saeed, Konya is for the fans. We're not getting Konya. What are you on about? What are you waffling about?
Bro,
what are you waffling about? I need to stop this.
Relax yourself, man.
The waffles. We're not getting
relax
Konya.
yourself. Calm down. Take a chill pill. Take a chill pill. Bro, relax yourself. I said Man United are interested in Konya. So I said it's not all a crush.
Who told you? Who told you?
Bro, there's multiple sources out there that are interested in Konya. What are we doing here?
Saeed, you know what that's called?
He wants to know what uncle at the masjid told you, Saeed.
Someone told him when he was getting a trim. Someone told him when he was getting a trim.
Bro, relax yourself, man. All I'm saying to you is, listen, we need Champions League football for the money.
But this is, listen.
We need it for the money.
This is an example of how sad it is to be a Man United fan right now. Because why are we saying that we need Champions League football because Man United are broke? Because we got no money.
Yeah.
Like that. Everything is, we need it because realistically speaking, we've except for Sociedad, the second leg, we just got past every other team. Maybe Victoria Pleasant, we beat them quite well. But throughout most parts of the Europa League, yeah, with this squad, and if we're being totally honest, yeah, because I'm seeing people saying we need that guy Ragnick said it, we need open heart surgery. We had open heart surgery. They took our heart and they put our kidney in there. Like that is why United are functioning the way that
the wrong surgeon.
The wrong type of surgery. Realistically, United ain't shifting 12 people. I'm seeing a list of stay and go. People are putting 13, 14 people on the cell list.
More pain then. You're saying next season.
I think next season is going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be better than what it is right now, because Amorim will get the midfielder that he might need, maybe the striker that he needs. But United are not going to fix the whole problem in one season or in the last 6 to.
We need 5 to 7 players in the summer. We need 5 to 7 players.
And be realistic, 5 to 7 players of transfer value that costs probably 30 million plus. Like, let's be realistic. United are not going to be able to afford that. On top of that, when United are playing near enough to like their 17th place in the league, they can't shift a lot of these players. Who's going to buy them? Who's going to buy them? The biggest priority for INEOS, let's be honest, is buy young players with high ceiling, good talent, high ceiling. You're seeing it with Kone, Obi Martin. You're seeing it with this other Aiden Heaven kid, Leon, the other kid that we brought. We're linked to this little 16-year-old in PSG. They want to buy players that are young with high talent, buy them cheap, nurture them into potential players, and shift off all the big earners. They're going to get Casemiro's going. Marcus Rashford is going. Jadon Sancho is
I don't know about that. I don't know about Rashford going. I can't lie.
I think they're going to do everything to get him out. Why? Because they need to save money. Like, this is the thing. This is the thing. The real problem.
Did you see today, though? There was some rumors of basically showdown talks between him and Amorim, and they're going to have some conversations about the future. And there could be is it reconciliation is the word? I think it is. Yeah, like there could be a like a treaty. I'm telling you now, there could be a little something going on. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I've heard a few things.
What is this? The United Nations? What the hell?
I don't know, man. There could be something going on. That's what I've been seeing. But ultimately, listen, I don't think Rashford's going to give up on his Man United career just because he's got a disagreement with the manager.
No, but I'm not saying he wants to leave. I'm saying they're going to push these players out because of the high earners. They are the high earners. If you look at the last 2 transfer windows, a lot of the people that left no, but I'm just going to say quickly, a lot of the players that have left in the last 2 summer transfer windows who have left on freeze were all high earners that they were happy to. They put a contract on the table for David De Gea. This is the previous ownership, and snatched it back from him. They yeeted it back. Again, high earners. These are all the Man United right now under INEOS, guys. Like Nuruddin said, I say strap in, because I agree with Amorim. On the pitch, it has to get worse before it gets better. But I don't have much faith in the structure that we were bragging about in the summer. And I said back then, remember, I said, guys, slow down. Let's not get too giddy over it. And let's wait to see what happens. But the idea of 100%, by the way, if United lose on Thursday, their season's over. And I think there's going to be serious bright lights on Ruben Amorim, because when he took over United were 4th from 4th place in the Premier League. And now they're 4 points off of like 17th. Knocked out of FA Cup, knocked out of the League Cup and Europa League. Personally, I would love to win a trophy, but equally, if it comes with humiliation in the Champions League, I'm like,
Bro, guys here. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, yo, he really should be sacked, But then sometimes I'm like, you know what? I feel sorry for him because of the mess he's in. But when you actually look at the results here, and you look at does he really survive at any other club with the results?
No, he doesn't. That's my point. He doesn't survive.
Let's be honest, bro. But I think what INEOS are doing is that they're taking their time because they don't want to be seen as their first appointment being horribly wrong. And if it is
the fact they didn't back their first appointment in the January transfer window tells me everything I need to know. They set him up to fail. He should have came in with at least, that's facts. Morata, they got him out of there quickly.
And he spent money as well. He spent money.
Of course he spent money. They should have, and this is my thing. We shouldn't be afraid to get him out. We shouldn't be afraid. I'm not afraid at all. I'm looking at, and one of the reasons I think we need Champions League football is like, forget the club. And in terms of what is good for them.
But you have to make a decision, though. Musa, you can't do what you did with Ten Hag. If you make a decision, let's say, for example, I don't know, August, September, that you do sack him, you've then built a summer ready for a back 5 system. Like, you've got to make a decision. If you're going to do something, at the end of the season, say, you know what, we're sticking with the manager. This is what we're doing. We're having a big summer. Or you sack him and then you at least have a summer window and a pre-season.
See all these Wilcox guys. See all these Wilcox guys. Yeah, they're gonna get found out. And similar to what Minna said, when we talk about the structure, when everyone was bigging up these flipping guys in terms of the players they brought in,
to really be cooking.
But even Wilcox, these guys that scout these players, and everyone bigs them up. No one ever spoke about the players they brought in for other clubs that didn't do well. People just only mention the players they brought in that did do well. But when you're at Man United, there's a magnifying glass on you. So every player they bring in that doesn't do well, dog you, whatever, they might have done the same at other clubs, but we only spoke about the gems that they brought in. We didn't talk about the players that flopped. But here, everyone that comes through the door is going to get a high-level scrutiny. So even these guys might not hit it off in the players that we bring in. We might bring in some of these young players, and they're not actually good enough. And then what do we do then?
But the thing is, though, can Jim Ratcliffe afford to sack more people? You know what I mean? Like, can he afford to really sack?
This is why I wanted Xavi. I told you I wanted Xavi, Saeed. I don't want no back three. I didn't want Tuchel because
how many teams play back three in the Premier League? How many teams do you not think play back three?
They all play back three, but it's the way you play the back three.
No.
On paper, set up with three centre backs. How many teams play back three?
About 2 or 3 that I think.
Brentford are playing the back three. I'm sure
West Ham
play back three. Wolves play back three. Palace play back three. But you know what makes me sad? Yeah, Glasgow with less. Like, okay, some of them are talented, yeah, but let's
play a back 5 though.
Forest don't play a back 3. I don't.
Palace play the system so much better than us, man. Do you see how?
They play back 5s from what I see. You know why? Because Amorim plays a back 5, but he tries to give them the mentality as if it's a back 3, like you lot got to get forward. But these are defensive players. They're not going to get forward. These other clubs, they know that their players are defensive and they hold on and they counter attack.
I don't know if you saw yesterday what the goal. I think it was the goal that it happened at the beginning in the first half, but even the goal that United conceded, where you got the 2 centre backs, kind of the 2 wide centre backs playing as like the 2 centre backs, and Lindelof pushing out into the midfield. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that is how that's how he wants to build up from the back. But you don't have the keeper to do it. You ain't got the central centre back to do it. And teams can easily, once they kind of press the 2-3 triggers, you can't. You're just gonna have to go long every time.
Yeah.
You know what? For me though, it's like I think I don't mind the whole back 5 if you make it more attacking though. But what really irks me is the 2 in midfield, man. Can we just not have 2 more creative players in there? Why does it have to be 2 defensive players in there? Why does he persist with always being defensive minded first? Why does the manager not think, let's go attack teams? Let's go create these overloads.
Do you think? Come on.
That's Portuguese. That's Portuguese football. He's bigger. One of his idols is Jose.
No, but you're not a Jose, mate. Respectfully, you're not a Jose.
No, do you think United can have the quality to attack?
It's not about quality. It's about your intent. You think all these teams have quality?
Just get out of the football picture.
Hold on a minute. This is what I'm saying.
You're saying it's not about the quality that we have. Okay, so why you want the players to have the intention? But what does that do?
It's the approach. No, but listen, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say. It's the intent. It's the way you play. It's the progressive style of play you're trying to do. Are you letting me land or not? It's the way. Hold on a minute. It's the way. I think for me, the players have got a negative mentality that they believe that we've got to sit back all the time. Sit back. They've not got the intention of going forward. They haven't. The fullbacks are so deep. I'm like, push out, man. Get the fullbacks further forward. You know, get Bruno maybe a bit deeper and get everyone else a bit further forward. But I feel like for me, we're at Old Trafford. I'm seeing all of our team behind the halfway line.
And you know what?
Against teams that we should be beating, that we should be playing better. That's on the manager to say, right. And I've seen it, my own eyes. I've seen the manager tell Onana to keep the ball, hold on to the ball. Let's slow the game down. I've seen it. So in their heads, the manager's telling them, yo, specifically, keep the ball, be pragmatic, and let's not push the game and let's not go on the front foot. Pass it back all the time. So you can, without having players, be a progressive team that goes on the front foot and tries, for me, to play that intent. Not everyone has the same amount of quality that us in the league. There's teams that are worse than us.
Yesterday, I saw Shah and Dan Burns defending 2 against 2, 1 against 1 on the halfway line for Newcastle.
Come on,
Every other player was in the United half, overloading on one side, getting balls into the other side. Let me say something. I'll just say this, Bina. Ten Hag tried a version of that where we go crazy and we saw the gaps. We saw the
that's not the one I want. That's not the one I want.
But Saeed, with the players we've got, that's what you're gonna get.
Oh, you're not gonna.
That's what I'm saying. The quality of the players make a like. I get you're saying why is but it also goes back to what Nuruddin and Musa was saying. On paper, we're saying it's a back 3, but really it's a back 5 because of how deep the wing backs are. When they are, Hamas yesterday, I don't know if you saw in the first half the spaces that he was taking up, similar to Dogu in terms of a winger-esque position. Diogo Dalot, for me, I think he's a good right back. I think he's an okay right back, but he's not a right wing back. I think we all know that. The players do not have the quality, even if we're talking about the mentality of, push up. They go there and it's suddenly a deer in headlights there. It's like when my mom tells me she leaves the house and she's like, make sure you cook before I come home. I have the intention to cook, but the ingredients are not in the cupboard, so I can't cook. It's the same thing. You're saying I want them to have the intention to do it, bro. They ain't got the quality to do it. They ain't got the quality.
By the way, I'm not saying
there's some teams.
I'm not saying go doing that all the time, guys. But I've seen us play teams that we should be beating, and we are terrified to do anything. We are pragmatic, we are slow, we are ponderous, and I feel like for me that just creeps into every game. And we've seen a pattern where United have not been attacking, we've been defensive, and we look clueless on the ball. It doesn't happen overnight, by the way. I've seen this.
As crap as we are, I don't look at Brighton and say, "Oh, they've got a better 11 than us." Flipping Bournemouth have a better 11 than us. This team has a better 11. They don't. But like Saeed's saying, their approach and how they approach the game is totally different, and how they want to play the game and how they want to get across their style and what they want to do in terms of like their attacking approach. That's the worst thing. Manchester United does not have an attacking approach. I don't know what we do when it's time to score. Like, what do we do?
I don't get how people not deepen the quality of the players that United have, because just 6 months ago, under Eric Ten Hag, everyone was slaughtering the players, saying that they're crap, they're this, they're that. And now
I keep on saying this.
Get a tune out of the players, the same players that the previous manager.
No, but I keep on saying every player individually, if they go to another team that's doing well, they don't make that team crap. And that's the problem. Individually, if one of our players, if Ugarte goes to Bournemouth don't become crap. If flipping Bruno Fernandes goes to Brighton don't become crap. If Zertsky ends up at flipping what's another team that's just there or thereabouts, they don't become crap. Individually, if these players go into another system, into another squad, that team doesn't start to become crap. So they're not crap players. They can get a job done, and they can actually be in a progressive team and do well. So collectively, though, when they're together in this environment at Man United, something goes wrong. Because individually, I can pull out every single one of these players, put them in another side, and they will continue to play at a good level.
Are you saying it's the manager? Are you saying it's the manager then?
No, it's not
just the manager. It's not just the manager, but the manager has entered also an environment that's questioned his ability to have a certain approach. The way
he said it already, Musa. He goes, "I've done worse than the players." He said,
"Yes." This environment, everybody is under pressure, under this magnifying glass that's called Manchester United. That comes with the press, that comes with the environment, that comes with the skeletons of the past. Like, everybody's under this.
I'm sorry, Musa, but I reject that. Let me say something to you now. Pressure was when Manchester United was going for a league title. That was pressure.
There's different levels of pressure.
Let me finish.
There's different levels.
Let me finish.
Listen, you can be poor. No, you can be poor and have pressure. And you can be rich and have pressure.
Musa, let me finish. Pressure is going into a cup final. Pressure is going into a Champions League semi-final away at Juventus. Pressure is, try to claw back 12 points. Pressure has been 12 points ahead.
Pressure is fighting for relegation. That's pressure. Relegation, that was pressure.
Manchester United, listen, that's teams because who come up. Pressure at Manchester United. We're not asking these players to perform miracles. We're not. We know where we're at. We're not the Manchester United. And if anybody's harping onto the past, that's a Wikipedia page now. That's a wiki page. Fergie, how many trophies? 13 Premier Leagues. That's just a Wikipedia page. Football is about here and now. And I'm afraid your owners are not as ambitious as you are as fans. And I don't know how that's going to go through to your head, but that is the fact. It's like this abusive relationship. You keep going back for more slaps. Like Nina explained,
which one of our players?
Their strategy is to buy cheap.
Okay, cool.
To buy young. Let me finish. To buy young, and then the fan base, we have zero patience for any development of players. We question everybody, and there's going to be more calling players. And that's what now, when I think about any of the young players coming to Manchester United is not a football club where you can come and develop, where you can have a decent career. Because let me just say, please, Musa, let me just get this. Let me just finish this sentence. Because this perceived of a big football club. Now, the club, PR and propaganda pretends that we're this big football club with this incredible, the reality on the football pitch is we're not. We've not been nowhere near it for 13 years. And people need to understand that.
No, you keep talking like we don't know this shit, bro.
But
like,
which one of our players, Saeed?
What's the point of you talking about the players then? What's the point?
You don't need to see a lecture again, bro.
No,
I'm not here for no
players.
I'm letting you know, bro, that this reality is coaching, bro. We understand the Glazers are bad.
There's no coaching. You can't coach.
I want to know.
You can't coach.
Bro. And we don't need to lecture, bro.
You can't coach your way out of this. You can't coach your way out of this.
You're taking the responsibility out of the coach and you keep blaming the owners. We understand the owners have put him in a bad situation. We understand that. But you still have to coach your way out of problems.
Coach what?
You
coach
do.
What? Coach what?
Which one of our players? Which one of our players cannot play for Fulham?
No, I'm not saying
which one of our players cannot play for Bournemouth?
Saeed, I want to remind you, last season, Manchester United, this trajectory of Manchester United, it's been happening for the past couple of seasons.
No, it didn't.
Last season, let me finish.
No.
We lost 12 games. Now we're counting 14 games. The season before that, we lost 12 games.
Which one of our players cannot play for Fulham?
Things don't happen.
Which one of our players cannot play for Fulham? Which one of our players cannot start for Fulham? Which one of our players? If Garnacho was at Fulham, he would be having a different trajectory to his career.
Which one of our players? Musa, the table doesn't lie. The table does not lie.
No,
we finished 8th last season. We finished 8th last season, and that was the false position. No, this is the real position where we're at. This is the real position. The real position.
Which one of our players?
You guys think that we're better than 14. We're not. We're 14 for a reason.
All right, guys. Let's get some order in here. Please stop shouting over each other. Let's get some order in here. Musa, you land your point, and then Nuruddin, we're going to come back to you.
You know why I'm upset, though, guys? We got Fulham in 8th. We got flipping Brighton in 9th and Bournemouth in 10th. None of these players are flipping extraordinary players. They're not better than our players.
So what are you saying is the problem? I ask you, is it the manager that's the issue? Is it the system? Is it everything?
It's the coach and their environment. The coach and the environment is a problem.
Do you think Amorim needs to leave?
It's not just about these players.
Now your turn.
Okay, go on.
And then Saeed will come back to you afterwards.
No, I just want to say
no. It's Nuruddin's turn. Let Nuruddin get his point off and then Saeed, you're next.
I'll say this, and I'll say it clearly. You think I'm preaching, but I'm not. It's like doing the same thing. You know, Einstein said in it, it's repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. What do you expect with the players that we have? Mina broke it down. Our first 11, are they technical? Are they physical? Are they seasoned pros who've been around the block? Do they have level of leadership to them? No. The level of player is been going down season after season. And now we have players that are 14th. That's what we have. They brought in a coach, young, inexperienced coach, that has no clue about the Premier League, and they said to him, there you go, son. It's like giving somebody a balloon, right? Well, water balloon with about 5-6 holes, and saying, you know what, keep that hot water balloon, keep it still, and you know what, make sure the water doesn't, leak out of it. Manchester United's leaking sieve, mate. We've been leaking like a sieve for a long time. So what majority of you do not understand is the club propaganda, which you all get conditioned to, and the reality of what players we got and the type of coaches we got. I never wanted Amorim. I told you I wanted Areola. I wanted Hansi Flick. I wanted what's the name? De Zerbi. Because I said specifically on this channel, I said we need the guy before the guy.
De Zerbi, you sure about De Zerbi, man?
See. Let him. Don't rattle him.
I said we needed the guy before the guy. We needed somebody that tried to coach the players into a certain way of functional football. And then hopefully, if we get better signings, we can then hopefully come back and be back on that road. When I look at it now, I told Saeed this 5-6 years ago on this channel. On this channel 5 years ago, I told Saeed. I said, you're not seeing, I said, Newcastle might win the Premier League before Manchester United do. And you know what, Saeed? My argument, you know what, there, you could have said 50-50. Maybe you could have said 50-60. You know what it is now at this current moment, Saeed? It's 85 to 75 to 85%. I'm going to be right. And you guys are talking about, well, Adina, if our players would be all right for this, can our players do? Listen, your players is the players you have now. You can't invent other players. They are crap. The environment is crap. Players can't develop. Players can't get better. And there's no mystical coach that eat. I know you have this
I don't want to
coach to come. I swear to God, you want what he wants to do?
No, let him finish. No, let him finish. He's nearly done. He's nearly done. He's nearly done. Let him finish.
It's never done, Minna. When is it ever
been done? Let him finish. He's nearly finished. He's nearly finished.
It's a monologue, this, man.
Let him finish his
I'm done.
All right, Saeed, your turn. He said quite a few allegations at you.
Bro, if I want to lecture, I'll go to Afrikaan, man. Like, this is not a lecture time, man. You know what I mean, bro? What's going on, man?
Yo, I'm bringing Afrikaan to the people.
Yeah,
people
man.
want to listen.
What's this, man? Listen, I do not want the manager to be sacked. I've made it clear. I can't abundantly say. I want the manager to be given a summer window to fix the problems, because I feel like, for me, he hasn't had a preseason. He hasn't had his players that he wants to bring in. He's only had Dogu. But all I'm saying to you, when it gets tough next year, and, you know, there might be not things that have gone his way, and we are in a tough... Sometimes you judge people in difficult environments, you know. I feel like you've got to sometimes, you know, test people in their difficult moments. And all I'm seeing is that the manager in these difficult moments isn't getting the best start of these players. I'm not saying, you know, you can't polish a turd, because some of them are turds. Some of them are not my United standards. You know my opinions on certain people. But I'm saying create an environment that these players can thrive under. That when you play this back five system, that it's manageable. You can manage the games. When substitutions come on, we don't look worse. We're seeing a micromanaging of players like Dogo and like other players that can, you know what? We know where they're playing. We know what position they're taking. You know, it's not a case of the midfield's wide open. We're not too defensive. We're not letting teams have the ball. We're not on the halfway line. There's some things we're creating an abundance of quality chances as well. Our chances are they're very, very scarce at the minute. They're not, our quality, the amount of chances we're getting right now, in terms of quality, are not good. And we're meant to be having one of the best chances creating machines in the game right now. I've been led to believe in Bruno Fernandes. So let's get Bruno Fernandes on the ball more. You know what I mean? Not put him in the 10 role where he's isolated. How can the manager not see that? That Bruno is not a 10 in the system. He's better deeper. But yeah, he keeps persisting with that. You know, so I just think, for me, hold on a minute, because I let you land. There are things that the manager can do. INEOS provide the platform for you to succeed. But on the coaching element, they are not there to babysit you. They are there to say, right, you told us you can do this. You told us you've got the credentials. You said there's an idea. You said there's something that we're going to be doing well. So you coach the team. That's all I'm saying. I don't want a new manager. I want the best for this manager. But right now, he is showing me and a lot of people right now that he is failing right now. And the facts don't lie to you. Statistically, he's failing. You know, performances we're failing. We are not designed right now for a team that mirrors the manager. Will it get better in the future? Maybe do so. But I'm focused on the now and the now right now. And that is the manager is not doing a good enough job. That's it. Can we not criticize the manager?
Yeah, you can. With the Bruno thing, I would say. With the Bruno thing, I would say, if anything, Bruno Fernandes's stats and chance creation stats in particular just prove how poor the quality is in Manchester United's front line. But also I would say take them stats with a pinch of salt, because sometimes a ball into the box with just Rasmus Højlund as the target would be classed as a chance created. So I would say use your eye test equally as much. But it's true, Bruno does create chances for players, and they don't really. A lot of the time, it's poor decision making, poor quality on certain players' ends. Now, in terms of Bruno, why is the manager not seeing that Bruno is better as the deeper player? I think he's playing as the 10, and this is where I notice stuff in game. He's playing in the 10 and he plays in this deeper role to accommodate, assist Casemiro and Ugarte, but that leaves a big gap behind the striker. So it means it's only Garnacho really the only other body there. If you lot watch yesterday in particular, the first half, I think they must have rotated where Garnacho was on the left, Garnacho was on through the middle, Bruno was on the left, Xerxes was on the right. Garnacho attempted to press, I think it was Shaw or Dan Burn, someone that was on the ball. It was very half-hearted. He went backwards. Xerxes was like, bro, what the hell? Now he had to run cover ground to go and press, because again, I think there's not a willingness to do stuff. And I totally think Ruben Amorim in the last 6 months, although the results don't really show it, I think his approach has been pragmatic. We've gone to Liverpool, we've gone to Arsenal, we've tried this pragmatic counter-attacking football, because that's the best you can do of the bad bunch of players that you have, where evidently, the guy's watching training sessions from the next pitch in Carrington. You don't even want to be on the pitch. I don't know if you lot see it, but apparently the first 30 minutes of training sessions, he watches it from another pitch, because I don't know if the team are that bad that he doesn't want to see them up close, or he gets a better angle from far away. I don't know, but I will totally agree that there is no perfect world right now where you can't criticize the manager, but you equally cannot. You can criticize the players, but you can criticize the manager. But I also feel like the manager, when his system is so rigid and it requires such a specific skill set for each, it's like me trying to take Spanish classes and I can't speak Spanish. It's going to take me a long time to learn the language, to do it as a degree. It's going to take me forever to get that degree.
I got any super chats in before you come in, Nordin. Just quickly. Big up to Super Art says, we are not that United of old, where we can move around at will, drop him, sack him, do this and that. The club has dug a hole too deep to get out of. It's similar. Wada says he doesn't have the players to play his system, but he's stubbornly pushing forward. The team doesn't attack by his design. Thank you. Omar answered, I think this fan base will sack Ferguson after the first 2 seasons. I would want to sell half a class of 92. Big up Nordic for telling the truth. Musa front line can't stand for any football team. I hate
when people compare they say, when people say, "Oh, you guys would sack Ferguson," and
that I don't agree with. I don't. I think we don't know it. We don't know. In that time, there was no media. There was no social media. You can't really judge that for me.
People wanted him sacked. They were shouting Fergie out.
They were. The Rat will be pushing up daisies before title 21. Omar says, Musa doesn't look at the team individually, look at collectively. We aren't physical collectively. We are young up front. Our backline is the only bright spot. And Craig says, I started playing a new game recently. I took a shot every time Nordin blames INEOS. I've been drunk every day for 5 months.
Big up, Craig.
Only 5 months. Only 5 months.
Only 5 months. You know what I mean?
Listen, let me give the analogy. I was against them from day dot. So you've not been watching me. So you need to go back to the old videos, pal.
No, you're saying that every time you basically.
No,
you know
what you see, but for the other 7 months, you need to have 2 shots for the other the other 7 months that you've not been taking the shots. I'll say it's simple. I think a lot of the things, what's happening for me, I am not shocked or surprised. And I think maybe sometimes I've got ADHD. I don't explain myself well enough sometimes, maybe. But I'm not shocked or surprised that Amorim is struggling. I'm not shocked or surprised.
I'm not shocked,
Some of these players absolutely do not fit into the system. It's like when my cousin sometimes goes away with his family. And then he's got a bunch of keys in it. He'll be expecting a delivery or whatever. And I go to the house. Now, I've got my cousin's keys, right? A bunch of them, this thick, right? I go and try to open the door. Now, all of the keys look similar. I'm trying to find the one that can unlock the front door. then the other door inside, he locks everything up properly. So that's what Amorim is doing. Amorim is being here. The club have told him, he's come out of his own mouth. They said to him, start now. So the guy who said, I'm sorry, but Amorim is gonna go really bad. They sacked him. It was Dan Ashworth that said the players we have are not compatible with the players that we've got. They're not. We need more of a counter-attacking football guy. And they sacked him. So please, I beg you. I'm not blaming Amorim. I'm blaming the people who brought him here and put him in this situation. At the end of the day, could he have done better? Does he make mistakes? Saeed, I was on the Straightjacket podcast and people were biting their way. I was the first one to say, we play with a back fucking five. I was telling everybody on their nan, the wing backs are not moving. And when I watch Sporting Lisbon, I see the wing backs absolutely the highest point of their team. They are the outlets, and they're the highest two fronts of their team. And people are telling me, nah, it don't matter. What are you talking about? It don't matter. And then people watch more, and realize, oh shit, we even play the back five, Ugarte, and sometimes play Casemiro. What's that? 7 defensive players. So then we're begging 3 of them off the pitch to do it by themselves.
No, share them out, man. What's this sweet, man? Share them out, man. Listen, guy,
honestly, Musa, you gotta be careful with the diabetes, bro.
Listen, oh my gosh, it's sugar. You already know when I've seen Joy eat. This is my Eid sweets. I've had it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and they're still not finished.
Yo,
it tells you.
Yeah, I think
honestly, guys, just quickly before we.
I agree.
Europa League. Has anyone got any hope?
I'll be there on Thursday. Go on,
honestly, like, I mean, honestly, do you feel
I might come Old Trafford still? I might come Old Trafford this week. I might come.
Mina, have you got any hope for Thursday? You know what I mean? Like, can we switch up like that? Can we, without Xerxes?
Mina, you coming?
Let me hear me now.
I got better things to do, bro.
Of our season.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm not doing that 6-hour round trip. Nah. Do I have hope? No. Well, I got no hope. But also with saying that, I feel like people underestimate, like the fact that Lyon players can come out after the game and be like, we knew how they were gonna play. They were afraid. We're not afraid to go to Old Trafford. And it's crazy because I saw people saying, Ryan Cherki, Mikitadze, we had Tolisso. The guy got 2 ACL injuries, and he was balling out against us. I don't think people are deep in how. And that's the team that you don't want to see in Champions League next season. Max Salama.
Listen, I'm starting my channel next season. I need Champions League football. I don't know about you lot. All I care about is me now. I don't care about United. I don't care if we get beaten every game. I'm starting my channel and I'm there to watch them. They better get in Champions League football.
Is it still active, your channel?
I think it's still there somewhere. Musa Reacts is there. I was gassed. I thought I was a proper pundit.
You need to change it to like Musa Ratcliffe or something like that.
No way.
Musa Onana.
Onana is my guy. I told guys, do not put the black goalkeeper in goal because I'm not going to be able to go against him. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And now we're being linked. We're linked to more black goalkeepers. We need to leave them alone.
This is Musa's last video, guys.
How long?
Listen.
We're going to be covering our loss to Spurs 2-0.
Ah, Spurs! I remember that one there. Oh my days!
Nothing has changed.
To the ends. Welcome to the Musa Reacts channel. And
look at me! I thought I was a professional.
Before, let's get
started. You got the plant as well in the background.
I thought I was ready. What's it? Let's talk 7.
And I feel like again, Varane.
I'll be back.
In terms of work, I had nothing really.
Saeed is sick, you know.
It's crazy.
I'll be back.
Hold on a minute.
These 2 players are
Anthony.
My guy.
Of course, he had to talk about.
One second. Let's at number 4, guys. It's got to be the wide players, Garnacho and Anthony. These 2 players are too erratic for me, man.
I told you.
I feel like
I told you.
Hey, Musa, get a flip flop out, man. I'm telling you, man.
You man are trying to get the receipts on me.
What did you say last week? He revived Isco's.
You know what it is?
You know
what I said to you, though? You can't have 2 erratic players on at the same time. You got to have one that's more balanced, and then you can have a mad one. You can't have 2 of them on.
But it just shows you, man, like that's the last time we did content on United, and that was what 2023, man. Nothing's really changed.
Actually, we've got worse.
We got worse, yeah, we got worse.
But this is what I was going to say to you guys. You know what I was going to say to you guys? Statistically, a lot of these players.
Every season, I don't have to stand on you.
Who said I'm not qualified?
I'm qualified. I swear that was so mad, man.
We need to get him. I said I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. Listen, I didn't know what was going on at the time, but what I'll tell you for free, how's our players got worse statistically since last season? Like Hoyland's goal scoring ability last season. If we think 16 overall was bad, that's this. If we got that this year, that would have been great. Like this is why I was saying that if you look at the strikers at Fulham and Bournemouth,
the mic is a bit techie.
Is it
gone techie? Yeah, I was gonna say that if you look at the strikers at Bournemouth, they're only getting Hoyland's numbers last year.
Yeah, true.
And we think that
they've got a better system than us.
And this is what I'm trying to say. The system is important, and Amorim's also responsible for this. Like, I'm not saying it's all his fault, but he's come into a club that we all could have told him, you better know what you're doing. And another thing I don't like is that when managers come in that are not experienced, they make sure they've got experience next to them. He's second in command is flipping less experienced than him.
I said that. You need a British guy who knows the lay of the land, the way of the land.
Yes. I remember you said that he should bring someone else in that knows a bit better. I said he should just keep Rude, but he thought it was too much for Rude. He thought he knew too much. Keep Rude to the end of the season. Let him get on side with the players. Let him just, I don't know, help you out. I don't know, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. But obviously, right now, I don't know what the club want, man. The club is just in a mess right now. But like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen in the Europa League. We just have to pray, you know what I mean, and hope for the best. That's all we can do right now. Is just pray.
He has to win it, man. He has to win it. You see, go and pull up the Europa League table. See where we are in the table. I showed it.
There's no table. You just
remember, there is a table based on points. Remember, this year is different.
No, we're busy. We're in the knockout stages, bro. There's no table.
Yeah, but it'll still tell you how many points we've collected since it started. I think we're like third. I know we're in the knockouts, but obviously whoever wins it's going to end up on top of that table. But Leon, based on the points since it started, Leon they're the worst team in the last 8. They're the worst team points wise, and that's who we're playing. And I think the best is who's at the top. I think it's Lazio, and then Athletic Club, then United. So based on who's had the most wins in this tournament and who's got the most points, it's Lazio and Athletic Club. They're the only two teams we should be worried about then, because they're the only ones that's been able to pick up more points than us. But Leon, we should beat them. Who's Lazio playing?
Lazio, they're 2-0 down to Bodo Glimt. They're 2-0 down.
Oh my days. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we should be winning this.
Yeah, should be. Keyword, should be.
Oh my
Let's see, man. It's do or die, man. Do or die. Let's see. If the manager can get where he needs to be, we should be good. But if not, it's a wrap. It's an absolute wrap. But listen, let's see, man. Let's see. People, anyway, we're going to wrap it up here, man. We're not even on 500 likes, guys. That's ridiculous, man.
They need to sort out the likes.
Not even 500 likes, people, man.
And that was A1 content, bro. This is the original podcast.
Yeah, man. Come on, guys, man. Let's push
up. They're moving like INEOS, and they're being stingy like Glazers and INEOS, mate. Stingy all around.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Let's get these likes up. It's been an amazing show. Let's try and push for 700 likes. You know what I mean? We've had nearly 1.7K in the building.
What podcast number is this, Saeed?
328.
328. Big. That's massive.
Yeah, big numbers, man. Big up to everyone. Like I said, you know what I mean? We'll be back later tonight, man. 150K party. We'll have a chat, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. Big up to Nuruddin. Make sure you follow up Nuruddin, people.
What time are you going live? What time are you going live, do you think?
Midnight, around midnight.
All right, cool.
Yeah, around midnight.
I'm gonna do a video about Cantona's comments now. So
I remember that. He said some big words.
Yeah, I'm gonna record it now.
Yeah, record it now, people. Like I said, make sure you subscribe, everyone, right now. Nuruddin is 500 away from 13K, so make sure you follow up Nuruddin. You know what I mean? Big up to everyone locked in. Big up to Musa as well. And man, people. So next week, this time next week, the season could be over. That's scary.
To be fair, the season's already over for me with Xerxes injury.
Now, if we win if we win the Europa League, I'm gonna be so shameless in celebration. I don't think people are gonna be understanding.
Why not, man? Champions
I'm just letting you know I've never celebrated a Europa or a League Cup in my life.
No, you got to celebrate this one.
Not in my vocabulary.
Come on, man. We're gonna go to the parade, man. Run it. No, we're gonna go to the parade.
Parade for Europa League.